We really had an expansionist ideology. We had this vision of this football field of industrial food service equipment, and we just had this idea of being able to grow. And so the natural effect of that was to grow some food too, to have a garden project. And we had an approach to the administration and said, hey, we'd love to set up a garden. And the original garden location, and it was, again, this feeling of goodwill, of collaboration within the university infrastructure. So the director of athletics at that time, don't remember his name, he was excited. And he thought, well, what can I do? And he had a back field, a back part of the football field that wasn't being used. And they said, look, if you guys put in a fence, then you can have this garden space. And there were a bunch of the groundskeepers were Portuguese, and they were like, oh, this is beautiful. So they went around, they got tons of soil, they brought it over, they dumped it there for us and formed it into beds for us, these huge long beds. And it was really, really exciting. We put in this fence, and we hired a garden coordinator, and we started to grow the food. And then one day, the athletics coordinator walked by our garden in the back end there, and he said, "What are you guys growing? What's going on?" And we had tons of cover crop of clover. And he didn't like that at all. He just thought, well, you're going to kill my athletics fields here, people. So the next year we had to move the garden, but also for us, we really wanted to collaborate and work with people. And we understood that creating creative partnerships was very, very valuable. So at the time, there was a very strong organization that worked out of NDG, which is where the Loyola campus was situated, called Eco Initiatives. And they had a Victory Garden sort of project. And so they had gardens spread out in people's backyards, and different people would farm it, and they would try to get as many volunteers as they could, and then they would collectivize the food and give it out and make meals together and so on that way too. So what we decided to do was we kind of entered into a partnership agreement with Eco Initiative so that our garden, the People's Potato Garden, became one of their garden sites that they operated in conjunction with us. I think we funded the position to coordinate that garden. And they managed that because we didn't have a management infrastructure in the summer, and brought in our volunteers and sort of connected it that way. And then we also had decided that we would try to get some greenhouse space on the 12th floor. And again, people were quite receptive to that and quite excited and interested to have us grow food there. So we grew a lot of the seedlings, not just for our own garden, but also for the whole Eco Initiatives network up there. And again, we're just looking at this facility and the incredible facilities that are public and saying, okay, how can we bit by bit take these things over and collectivize their use?